Hi everybody, I am back with another video for you guys. Today I'm going to do my twin girls, Grace and Violet, 18th month check-in review with you guys. They are fraternal twins and they were born June 14th, 2015. I have not done an update for them in quite a while. I think the last one I did was around 10 months or 11 months, and that was just really talking about their sleep schedule and the schedule we had them on. And that's okay because that really stayed the same up until just after a year. That's when stuff really started to change, and that is what I'm going to cover this update and check-in. I'm going to do their schedule that we're on now and how they've developed and their stats, everything from 12 months to 18th months. So I have quite a bit to go over, so let's get into it. Starting off with their weight. Grace is 26 pounds, Violet is 27 pounds, and they both have got their final shots. That's when they got weighed. We went for their 18th month vaccinations and they weighed them, and they're developing great. They're in the 90 percentile for their weight and height, and I have my notes down here, so that's why I keep looking down. Something I noticed after they turned a year is that they started to get sick, and we didn't really go through that, thank goodness. When they were babies, they didn't get sick at all, which was a miracle, because let me tell you, having twins that get sick is not fun, especially when you get sick. And every time that they've gotten sick, I've gotten sick. So my mom's had to come over because John usually works. It just happens that he works when I get sick. So my mom's had to come over and help John when I got the flu with the girls. Like, we all got the flu except John, and he was off that weekend that we all got sick, so he took care of all of us his days off. And he didn't end up getting sick though, which was great. But that has been the hardest thing, I think, with twins, is them getting sick, because it's kind of like it feels like it lasts a month, because one gets sick and then by the time that one's getting better, usually the next one's getting sick, and then you're getting sick, and it's like just 3 weeks of sickness. The cold, I felt like, lasted 2 months. I felt like I just never was going to get better. Grace was always sneezing and snot was coming out, and it just lasted forever. Our flu we got when we came back from Disney World. And yeah, we went to Disney World, by the way, when the girls were 16 months. I'll do a video on that. It was quite an experience. It was just my husband and I and the twin girls. And yeah, and we came home and we got sick. We all had the flu. So yeah, the girls have now went through a cold and a flu, and we're still here. We survived, but it was not fun at all. The girls have started talking. They started talking around 13, 14 months. It started with Hi Lily. That's our dog's name, and we would always say Hi Lily when we walk into our house coming back from somewhere. So they picked that up and they started saying it. Lily would run in the morning to their room, and Violet would just be like, Hi Lily, and that's like the first words both of them said. And then they've said hi and bye and daddy and ducky and bubbles and a few other words, and they're not saying mommy yet or mama. Violet just started actually a week ago, but they don't say it a lot, and it'll just be spontaneous. And they will just ramble. Violet is really bad for it. She will just like ramble on, and you have no idea what she's saying. It'll just be like blah 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 blah. And she started doing that, and it was like no sense at all, but now she's doing it, and you can kind of tell that she is trying to say something, and she looks at you like she's trying to get you to understand it. And that was just happening today, actually, because I would say something to her, and it was almost like she would say no, and then she would do it again. So that's something interesting that she has started to do. Both of them do have a good set of teeth. They have almost, I think, all of their teeth. They've gotten some molars in, and they have all their front teeth. Grace still is waiting for her 2 side ones here, but Violet has all of her bottom ones. And teething wasn't that bad. I have to say that they did really good with teething. They'll just drool a lot, and they want to chew a lot of things, but they don't want to chew the teething toys. Of course, we had Sophie the giraffe. I was gonna say Sophia the first. Wrong thing. We had Sophie the giraffe. I had a whole bunch of those cooling gel teething rings, and they didn't use any of those. They would chew on like blocks and random stuff. And Grace really liked having just a wet towel she would chew and suck on, and that seemed to soothe her. They really were good about soothing themselves when they were teething. And we have started brushing their teeth. We just actually started at Christmas time because they got toothbrushes and toothpaste in their stockings, and they actually surprisingly have been really good at it. They let us brush their teeth, and they like eating the toothpaste, and I am using the kids toothpaste that's non-fluoride, but they will they'll just suck on the toothbrush sometimes, and you can tell that they're just eating it. And I really have to say that I think what's helped with brushing their teeth and them letting us brush their teeth is when they were babies, I would give them baby toothbrushes for them to chew on, because that's what they seemed to like when they were teething, is to chew on just those baby toothbrushes. I think that really helped with the whole brushing the teeth, because I thought it was going to be not that great. I didn't think they would let us brush their teeth at all, but I was really pleasantly surprised when they would open their mouth and just let us brush their teeth. We found out when we went to Disney World that Grace is lactose intolerant. We kind of had a feeling that she was all along, but we were kind of just pushing it off, and we didn't really know if that's what it was. And we heard that like you should keep them on cow's milk for up until they're 2. So we were just keeping that going, and she seemed to be okay, but then it really got to the point where it wasn't okay. Every time we'd go in the car, after like 10 minutes of being in the car, she would throw up. And if she'd get really upset and be crying a lot, she would throw up. And it just seemed like it got to the point where it was almost every day that she was throwing up. And I just knew that something was wrong. So we took her to the doctor, and the doctor just said to us, it must be a milk intolerancy. And he told us to switch her to soy milk and see if the puking stopped. She loves it, she takes it, and after that day, she stopped puking. So that was definitely what it was. We haven't actually got her tested. That's kind of the next step that we're gonna do. But since the puking stopped and she seems to be way happier, we have stopped the milk. We also stopped giving her really any dairy products. We stopped giving her cheese and yogurt, but I know we have given her, like that was for the first month, and then now we have given her a little bit of cheese, and she seems to do okay with that. So I'm thinking it's just the whole milk that was just really upsetting her stomach. Now we have Violet on homo milk and Grace on soy milk. They are totally different babies. This whole time, since they were born, they've just been totally different babies. It's so funny. Eating, they have good appetites, and we just pretty much give them everything that we would eat. I cut it up into little pieces and put it on their plate. We're not spoon feeding them or anything anymore. They use forks and spoons, and they are really good at feeding themselves. And I'm really excited and happy for that. They eat, their favorite things are, we give them, for breakfast we give them toast and eggs a lot, with a side of fruit and vegetables. That's pretty much every meal is carbs, protein, fruit, and vegetables. That's what I try to fill their plates with. They love avocado still, and they love meatballs. I make them turkey and beef meatballs, and I put spinach and carrots and celery. I'll like mix it in with the meatballs, because they'll eat vegetables, but they only eat a few, and then the rest goes on the ground. They'd rather have applesauce. They'd rather have everything sweet. They're loving applesauce. They cover everything in applesauce and then eat it, and I'm kind of like, well, if you eat it, I am fine with that. I get the unsweetened applesauce, so I don't think it's that bad for them. And if they like it, then they like it. For lunch we used to do a lot of grilled cheese sandwiches, but with Grace's intolerance, we had to stop that. So we give them a lot of pasta and veggies and steamed veggies and bananas. They love bananas. They love raisins, which I find kind of weird, but Violet just loves raisins. And yeah, like I can't complain with them eating. They are not picky at all, I find, and that might change, I'm sure, as time goes on, but right now it's really nice because they do eat anything we put on their plate. They still have their milk 3 times a day. We give them milk in the morning. If they're really wanting it, we'll give them their milk as soon as they get up, or we give it to them when they're having breakfast, because we have started transitioning to sippy cups because we are still on bottles. And I got told when we went for their 18th month vaccination, the nurse was like, you need to get them off bottles. And I don't know what the big deal is. I mean, I guess it's bad for their teeth or whatever, but it seems to comfort them, and I am just a schedule Nazi. Like, I love them being on a schedule, it going smoothly. If something ruins that schedule, I do not want any part of it. And I know us not giving them bottles is going to ruin their schedule. And I think it's more of a comfort for me to give them the bottle too. So I just need to stop, and we need to get them off the bottle. So that is what we were working towards. We have started giving them their sippy cups in the morning, and that has gone okay. At first they would just throw the sippy cups away and not even drink any of their milk. But now they are drinking it, which is really good. And we still give them a bottle at their nap one after lunch, and then their nighttime one. So that's the 3 times we're giving them milk, is morning, lunch, and right before they go to sleep. The next transition we're going to do for the sippy cup is their lunch one, and then the last one's going to be their bedtime one, which I don't think is going to be that hard because they have started where they drink their bottle really fast and then they kind of play a little bit more, and then we go upstairs and put them to sleep. So I don't think the nighttime one is going to be that bad, but we will see. I will keep you posted. Their sleep schedule, they are going to bed around 7:30, sometimes 8, and they are up anytime 7:30 to 8. And then they go for a nap at 12:30, and that can go anywhere from 2 to 3. And that is their sleep schedule, and that is I'm very strict on it. We are trying to push them back a little bit. I would prefer them to be getting up at 8, 8:30, even 9. So we're just slowly moving them back for their bedtime one, because it used to be we'd start putting them down around 6:30, and now it's 7. But they're still getting up at the same time, even with that half an hour difference of putting them down later. I just find that they are taking a longer nap during the day now, so I kind of wish it would turn around, and I wish they would get up later, have a shorter nap, and go to bed later, but we'll get it figured out. Activities they like to do, they love to draw, they like to sing and dance, and they love to climb all over everything, which is driving Mom nuts because then they fall and they hurt themselves, and I tell them not to climb, but they still do it. And they like to play hide and seek, and they like to play fort. We'll put a blanket over our couches and they'll go under there, and they love doing that. And they love to stack blocks, and they're just really happy girls. They also love to watch TV. They love Sophia the First and the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and they're obsessed with Frozen. And I think I've partly done that. We listen to the soundtrack in the car and they love it. And then they've just started to grasp actually watching the movie and knowing that it is Frozen. I'm just being honest, we do watch TV, and they're really good about, they even like monitor it themselves, it seems. Like the TV, if they don't want to watch it, they just go turn it off. And usually like Frozen, they only make it 30 minutes and then they're on to playing with their toys and they're not even watching it really. So I think that is everything for this check-in for you guys and an update on my girls. I hope you enjoyed this video. Oh, and I did not forget about my fitness check-in, how I'm doing progress. I just really wanted to get this video up for you guys, and I felt like from last week to this week not much has changed, and I keep forgetting to weigh myself because I want to give you guys a little like check-in if I've lost any weight. But I am still going, and I hope you guys are still going. Don't give up. It's going good, and I'm gonna do another video probably next week. I'll post a check-in for that. I haven't given up, don't worry. But yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed this video. If I did leave anything out and you do have a question, please just leave it in the comments below, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.